Well, this is just a gift that keeps on giving, doesn't it? My name is Musa. I'm an attorney and I have been for nearly 25 years in three different jurisdictions. I practice criminal defense, so most of my practice is focused and centered around constitutional law. And here we are today with another secretive arrest of an individual who is has connections to a Palestinian. And let's start with that. So let's follow up with the arrest of Badr Khan Suri. The detention of Badr Khan Suri comes after the arrest of Mr. Mahmoud Khalil. And we're going to get into an update on him shortly. So, what we have here with regard to this case is we have someone that there's no allegation that he's done nothing wrong. There's no allegation that he's made any sort of statement. There's no allegation of anything. The only real connection is that his wife, who is an American, is Palestinian heritage, of Palestinian heritage. So at this point, this is where you start to wonder now, okay, so she's an American citizen and she's Palestinian, and perhaps they're not able to punish her like they would like to because of her residency, but now they are arresting the spouse. This individual is a green card holder also, and Mr. Khan is a fellow at Georgetown University. So now we have two people that have been detained and two more that have self deported. And the two people that have been detained are intellectuals, they are um, academics, they are professors, right? Now, when go back in history and think of a time where the first thing they did was to go after the academics. I mean, it happened in World War II, and then the Israelis did it to the Palestinians shortly thereafter in 1948, and it's continuing to happen right now. The goal is to make sure that there is no ability to question what's happening, and even if you do question it, you're wrong just for doing it. You're a left wing liberal, even if you never voted Democrat in your life. But that's just the nature of the politics that we live in today. Again, this is being done in this circumstance, and for Mr. Suri, under the provision that enables the United States Secretary of State to deport someone to have potentially serious adverse foreign policy consequences. So you would have to potentially seriously, possibly create an environment that could be adverse to foreign policy consequences. What does that even mean? It means that Marco Rubio can deport immigrants for their speech and their beliefs. And this is the homogeny that they're looking for. And this is a true test of the First Amendment. And it really is. I mean, anyone saying otherwise, like, for example, I heard Megyn Kelly speaking about it. And it's no wonder, like, her law degree is just basically toilet paper. And when you hear her speak, you realize she uses her education for an agenda rather than actually understanding what it is. And there's a reason why Trump chewed her out, chewed her up, spit her out. And she was a Fox News, their hit reporter. And now I have more followers than her show on X does. So that kind of gives you the idea. Now, when you get to real lawyers um, discussing the First Amendment, you'll see that this is something that is strictly prohibited. Not only is it strictly prohibited, it takes the highest scrutiny to overcome the freedom of speech barrier that there is. So without alleging that this individual has incited some sort of actual riot that caused damage or was in the process of putting together some sort of paramilitary force to attack something, then there's not much you can do about it. And that's paramount. That is the nature of the First Amendment. And this is a true test of our guardrails. Now, go back to when we talked about the United Nations being the international guardrails back in December of 23, January of 24, for example. And we saw that, the UN, those guardrails just fell right off. Like we just went right over the edge, right? So now we're testing the judicial guardrails and what's happening. You're now seeing Trump threaten to impeach judges and Elon Musk claiming that you need 60 senators to impeach a judge, which is wrong, which is why you shouldn't have a ketamine addict from South Africa running shit when he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing in the first place. Okay, pardon me. So this is a test of the judicial guardrails and the Constitution of the United States. And it's going to determine what speech is like from here on out and what's to come. Now, with regard to Mahmoud Khalil, he had a legal victory because they sent his case back to New Jersey. It's still pending. He's still detained. It's absolute nonsense that this is the situation that he's going through based on the fact that, if he was a white supremacist and he stood on the street saying white power, like a lot of people do, he wouldn't be arrested. Not only would he not be arrested, he'd be protected to be able to say that. So someone who's Palestinian claiming that they want to have their homeland free from occupation is far different than that. And we're punishing the latter and not the former. That's where we are.